Hey guys, you're here because you're in love. You're in love with somebody who's battling depression or maybe in pain, and you're in love with the idea that you have the ability to help them. You have the ability to help move them through this painful or difficult situation. And maybe even to help them feel human and alive again. And what does it mean to be in love? To me, it means that you are in the state of love. And in this state of love, you fully feel and connect to this other person. And you want what's best for them just like you would want what's best for yourself. So you feel connected. And you want them to feel joy, peace, and happiness. Naturally coming from this place of love, you already have a step up to help this person over anybody else. But you may need the tools, the things that will really help you connect to that person and actually be able to make a difference in their lives. We so desperately want that for the people that we care about. But sometimes when we try to help them, it almost feels like we can make things worse. Even though we have the best of intentions, sometimes things can get worse. And when those things become worse, oftentimes our relationships with these people that we so desperately want to help become charged. They become charged with emotions, and sometimes very negative emotions and feelings because of previous interactions. What I want to talk about is how do we move through that? And how do we actually affect a feeling of connection and help with that other person that we're working with? I think one of the most important things for us to remember when we're working with somebody who's in pain or is struggling with an addiction or whatever it may be, is that we all crave belonging, significance, and purpose. And if we don't have those things in our normal day-to-day life, or we don't know how to get those feelings within ourselves in a healthy way, we will naturally find any way to get those, even if it's unhealthy, even if it's damaging to ourselves or to others. It's just human nature. Even as children, those are primary drives. You look at any child's behavior that is acting out, and they are seeking either belonging or significance. So we're all just really big kids. So the first tool to use to sincerely help somebody that you love is to empathize. And a lot of us get scared when we think about the word empathize. Like, I don't know, I feel sorry for them. Like, what's the difference between empathy and sympathy? And, to empathize, it's to put yourself truly inside their shoes, to feel what they feel. And there's a tool that you can use to really get a grasp on what that feels like. And I want to share that with you. And it's called second perceptual position. And this is something that comes from NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. Where most of us normally operate from is first perceptual position. You probably have a gist of what I'm talking about here. Like, this is pretty basic stuff, I know. But to go through this exercise is profound, and I'll share with you here in a minute why. So the second perceptual position is where you are literally looking at the world through their eyes. So you're looking through their eyes, you're feeling what they feel. You are hearing what they would hear. So to close your eyes and imagine this person, and imagine going through an afternoon as this person, to really experience what this person sees, hears, and feels. This is a profound exercise, as simple as it is. I remember when I was going through training for neuro-linguistic programming, I first heard about this exercise, and I had a very difficult and challenging relationship with a family member who I loved, adored, and he was a mentor to me. But towards the end of his life, we had a very challenging relationship. And when I went through this exercise of the second perceptual position, my body literally responded with a shock because I got to see myself through his eyes and through what he felt and through what he was experiencing. And I saw how I was responding to him, even though I thought I was trying to help. I saw how I was responding to him and how I may have actually caused him pain rather than, caused any kind of inspiration or encouragement. What I really wanted to offer him was encouragement and empowerment. And that bothers me today because it's not something that I can go back and change. So I hope that this video can help somebody out there, maybe you, come at helping somebody that they love from a different perspective. So go through this exercise. Close your eyes and go through it. The second step is to stop trying to fix them. They are not broken. The answers that they need already lie within themselves. The goal should not be to show them what to do, but to help guide them to their own answers. And the first thing that we can do to do this is acknowledge where the pain is. Acknowledge where they're feeling that difficulty or that pain, and then to ask questions. Questions are the most powerful tool that we have and can oftentimes give a complete paradigm shift just by stumbling across a question that maybe this person or ourselves we haven't even thought about. So just by asking questions, you become extremely powerful. And so if they come across with a question that includes everyone and they say something like, everybody hates me, we should ask them, well, how specifically does everybody hate you? How do you know that everybody hates you? Well, they just do. No, you need to dive deeper into that and keep asking questions and find out maybe where that belief came from or what that belief is doing there or how it was developed. So whenever they say something that includes everyone or is just like a bold statement that just drops it down, says this is the way that it is, question them on it. And so if they say like, my life is absolutely terrible, well, how specifically is it terrible? And start diving into these things and listen with the intent to just listen, to offer that love that you have inside of you by just listening and empathizing with that person. So not to underplay this, questions are the most powerful tool that you have alongside with empathy. Because if they feel like they belong and they have significance in your eyes, you will be a trusted ally to them. Okay, so now it's time for the third. The third and final step in my list of simple things that you can do to help other people is to see yourself in them. And by that I mean that I'm sure that if you gave your life some thought and you looked at the struggle that they're having, that somewhere in your life you had something where you experienced something similar. Maybe you experienced some similar thoughts or some similar feelings. But to see that we really are all connected. And the divine spark that lives inside of them also lives inside of you. And while they may be walking an extremely difficult path, that path is theirs to walk. It's not a burden for you to carry for them, nor should you. And sometimes this is forgotten when we're trying to help somebody, because when somebody is in pain, just like when somebody is drowning, it's pretty common for that person that is thrashing around in the water to carry down their rescuer or helper with them. And so it's easy for us to get lost in the pain and disappointment and frustration that the other person is feeling. So how do we maintain ourselves? How do we maintain our equilibrium, so to speak, when you're dealing with somebody who is suffering greatly? And that is that you have to establish healthy boundaries. And the boundaries are there for them, but also for you. For you to be the most help to this person, you have to be able to know where the line is drawn between help and starting to sink with them. They have to go through and finish this path of pain that they are on, wherever they're at, that you're trying to help them with. They have to find their own way through. And too much help too soon could damage the process, And they may never walk away with the lessons required to overcome where they're at. So think about like a butterfly. When a butterfly is coming out of its cocoon and it's ready to start flying, it has to go through the process of breaking out of the cocoon in order to gain the muscle and the muscle memory to learn how to fly. If you help a butterfly out of a cocoon or cut him out too early, that butterfly will never fly. And it's the same thing with other people. It is not our responsibility to carry their burden. It is only our responsibility to be there as support and to help them. And maybe one day, when they're all done and they have gone through all of this, they will have learned the lessons necessary in order to help you with something. So remember that their challenge is their opportunity to become stronger. Life is a constant series of challenges, a constant series of struggles. And the sooner that we can see that the obstacle is the way, which is an excellent book, I suggest you read it. It's by Ryan Holiday. The sooner that we can see that the obstacle is the way, is the sooner that we can accept that these difficulties are what make up our life, and that we can find joy, happiness, and peace around the edges of these things. So helping a friend or a loved one can often mean the difference between life and death. And I hope that it's not that situation for you. But if you are in a situation that is challenging and you are emotionally charged or you can't seem to get close, please, go brainstorm with somebody else about how maybe you can create a space for this loved one. Or maybe there's somebody else out there that can help, because maybe sometimes we're just not the right fit for the current situation. And we need to be able to accept that sometimes when somebody's dealing with something difficult, if we're too close to that person, we can actually charge up that situation. Sometimes we need to take a step back and let somebody else do the heavy lifting for a little while. That's okay. Holding that space of love and encouragement, that's what's important. So it doesn't matter if you are there through every step of the process. The single most important skill that you can learn is listening without the need to speak. And then asking questions. Really get curious. Feel that curiosity inside and get curious about what they're saying, and why they're feeling what they're feeling, and how they're feeling what they're feeling, and how they're coming to their conclusions about certain things. So listen, get curious, and then just see that divine spark in that other person that you know is within you. All I can share from personal experience is that anger is fleeting. And your ego can and should take the back seat for the person that you love. So I wish you peace. I wish you that self-assuredness that you are enough to help that other person. Just show them love. And if you appreciated this video, if you took something out of this that perhaps you can see would be very beneficial to you and your relationships, please leave a comment below. Let us know. And also, hit that like and subscribe button, because I'm going to be making more videos about how to help you through life's transitions. And if you want to learn more or see more about what I offer, visit my website, profoundshifts.com. There'll be a link for it down below, as well as a link for that book, Obstacle is the Way, by Ryan Holiday. I'll leave that down below as well. So, I wish you well. Until next time, we'll see ya.